seat right there so everybody can see you enjoying each other's company. There, dear friends, it is my honor and privilege to present to you the love story of Holly and John Dutler. Hold on. Like you used to do in school. You're like the only one. A few weeks ago, I had Holly and John fill out some questionnaires and write a little bit about their relationship prior to today. Because while all of us know why we're here today, a lot of us don't know how we came to be here today. And so once again, ladies and gentlemen, the love story of Holly and John Dutler.
All right.
Our story began about 2 years ago. Holly is a successful, driven, goal-oriented kind of gal. She bought a house, she's working on her master's degree and her career. She's happy and content with her place in life, but she is a true romantic. She expects that she will find her soulmate. Holly trusts in God and fate and her best friend, Crystal. She asked Crystal for a little help. And Crystal knows exactly what to do. We need a setup. Crystal's friend's husband, Rick. Is Rick here today?
Yeah.
Hey, Rick. All right. I haven't been introduced to Rick yet. It's nice to meet you, sir. Good job. Rick has a friend who is a police officer and in the Army Reserves. Holly loves a man in uniform. And fortunately, that man is John.
All right.
Rick gave John Holly's number, and so it began. John called Holly the next day. In fact, they spoke a couple of times on the phone before setting up their very own blind date. Now, Holly's not exactly certain of the date, but John is. They actually met on August 25th of 2008 in the carpool lot off of exit 23 of I-94. Well, you see, John was living in Kalamazoo and Holly was in Buchanan at the time, so the plan was to meet in Stevensville and take one car to dinner at Tosie's in St. Joe. Yeah, wow. John arrived first and waited until a little blue car came zipping in and almost screeched to a halt right next to him. He got out and stood between the cars waiting for her to get out and remembers being struck. Long hair, black dress, and dang. Holly remembers being amazed with John's calmness and manners and nice looks. A true gentleman. John remembers, dang. On to dinner in John's Jeep. Holly says she felt spoiled at such a nice restaurant. They sat on the patio and dinner was comfortable and conversational. Turns out they had a lot in common, including both being former band geeks. She does say he was much too serious, but she had decided to try to break him of it. After dinner, a walk on the beach and through the water's edge. And being that it was their first date, John resisted the urge to push Holly into the water. But he did share the thought with her. And actually, Durbage, he's the one that got his pants wet, and she got photographic evidence to prove it. They took a walk up to the pier, and John took Holly's hand. He was nervous about that. She was shocked, but it worked out real well. At the end of the pier, he put his arm around her. That's where it went. Next was ice cream at Kilwin's, and John thought the evening was over, but Holly surprised him, and herself, by asking him if he would like to see where she lived. And after a tour of the house and an introduction to her 2 kittens, they decided to build a bonfire in the backyard. This is where things get rough. John regrets that his Boy Scout and Army fire building skills were shamed by the wet, dripping mass of sticks and shrubs that Holly called firewood. And they ended up sitting next to the fire pit as if there were a roaring blaze. Holly says she did not make too much fun of him for the fail. In fact, he had earned about 1,000 cool points for the attempt. Now it's around midnight or 1 a.m. and time to get back to the carpool lot in Holly's car, so Gentleman John gave Holly a perfect kiss on the cheek to end the night.
Aww.
Holly couldn't wait for John to call again, and when he did, their conversations would last forever. Holly says that she knew she had truly fallen in love shortly after they started dating.